game of the year for Super Bowl 59, as we all witnessed a textbook lesson in a belt-to-ass beatdown when the Philadelphia Eagles destroyed the Kansas City Chiefs 40-22. What were y'all overall thoughts on the game? I am going to start with you, Q.
I'm still processing
the
this
non-believer.
shit. I'm still processing this shit, man. Like, how do y'all want this to go, man? I can get like,
bro, just be you, bro.
And no. See, there's two me's right here. I'm on some Gemini shit. You want the famous me or the shameless me, like Kendrick said. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can go, straight analyst here, or I can get ignorant. I mean, matter of fact, I'm gonna give y'all 70-30 analyst, 30% ignorant.
I just want ignorance. You already know me. I'll give it.
I'm gonna wait for people to come to get.
He watching Nick Wright to see what the answer should be. That's what he's doing.
So my problem going into the game was that Patrick Mahomes puts fear into my heart, and I think I have every right to feel that as a fan of an NFL team, because you know what I'm saying, I think he's the second greatest quarterback I've ever seen. Still think it's Tom Brady, but when I saw what they were able to do over their playoff run, I was just like, man, they just execute at a high level. So going into this game, I picked them 34-31. Dude, by the end of the first quarter, I was just like, they not gonna let us do this, right? Like this can't be happening. And then the game continues to go on. I see Patty looking rattled, the offensive line for the Chiefs getting absolutely decimated. They're getting ragdolled like Tiana Trump on a Thursday. It's crazy, bro. And it's bad out there for them boys. Cooper DeJean gets a pick six. It's 17-0. I'm still even. I'm like, I've seen this movie before. He done been down 24-0. This boy is like Michael Myers. You got to shoot for the head, bro. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't let him just, we killed Michael Myers. Nah, bro. He going to get up like Undertaker and follow after your ass again and get you. So for me, 17-0, I'm cool. 24-0, I'm still like, nope. That's what the Texans had them in the 2019 game. I'm not falling for it. 40-6. I'm starting to feel really good, man. I'm like, all right, 40-6. This is like a little bit of a lead that we can hold on to. The team played outstanding, bro. The Eagles exceeded all expectations. I saw none of this coming, and I'm just still in shock. I'm still processing the defensive line, all four of those guys. I'm in shock because I don't think anyone saw this coming. I don't believe that anyone could have predicted. I said last week that my heart and my head was the battle. My heart says we should beat the fuck out these boys because I've always felt we are the best roster in the league. You know what I'm saying? But my head said 34-31 Chiefs. It just seems like it's their time. It's Patrick Mahomes. Bro, when they're trademarking three-peat already, I'm like, shit, man. I don't know if we can compete against this energy. Nah, man. The Eagles showed up. They showed out. They shut me up in so many different ways. They finally played like the roster I believe they can play like most weeks out the NFL season. Jalen Hurts seems to peak when the lights are the brightest for some reason, and I'm very happy about that. I think that whatever anybody says about him is true. He's that type of guy. Whatever you say about him is true. If you think he's top 5 now, cool. If you think he's not top 5, cool. If you think he's top 10, cool. If you think he's not top 10, cool. If you think he's bottom 5, cool. All I know is from what I've seen is that when the lights are the brightest, he does perform as a quarterback. The defensive line should be the MVP if we could give joint awards, because they were the reason why we were in that position to strike that way. Saquon did what he had to do. AJ did what he had to do. Devontae did what he had to do. Offensive line dominated. I'm in shock, man. I'm still processing. So 2 of them, I'm very excited. I'm very happy. And this has been a great ride to watch. And it's been a pleasure to watch such, efficient football in Philadelphia.
Q, somebody said on Reddit that you got out the car like Trey. Let me out, though. They said you got out, Q. And I want you to know, I'm gonna say this, Q. You didn't start that this week. You've been talking this shit all this playoffs, bro. Don't act this shit new. Yeah, I've been waiting on this because him, just like y'all, talked all that trash, and I told you the whole time what was going to happen. Nobody predicted it was going to be a blowout.
You picked them by 10. You picked them by 10, bro. Go back and watch the film.
I was wrong.
You said 31-21.
31-21. And I
think it was 30 fucking points.
I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. It was 18.
No, it was really 34.
It was really 34. It really was 34.
Out of here with that. 22.
But my point to you is this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, go ahead, Nick. You go.
You already started, nigga. Your team won. Go ahead.
The point is this. I'm here to bring balance, bro. I'm not gonna be on the rah-rah.
You can't bring no balance to this, Nick. Ain't no balance to it. Just like the game, there was no balance to it. There was no balance to it. I told you they did exactly what they were supposed to do to win games. That was the whole point. It was to win. Everybody be looking at the stats. It looks pretty. All this pretty stuff. Oh, we're gonna get demolished. That's exactly. I'm gonna tell y'all what QB saying in the chat because QB talking different on here. He talks nice on here, but in the chat he said we're gonna get demolished.
Can you talk about the team, bro? They don't care about the chat.
I'm telling because it's the truth. It's the truth.
I'm very consistent.
And I kept telling you consistently wrong on this. Because I kept trying to tell you. I kept trying to tell you what was going to happen. This was Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford.
What were you telling me that was going to happen? They were going
to be where they at right now. And I told you, everybody, just like I told you with this, everybody steps up when needed. This week is this person. This week is that. You said Saquon was dragging them. Saquon didn't have to drag them. Saquon benefited just like everybody else.
I said Saquon was dragging them?
Yes.
Drag them to
What do you mean dragging them?
To the championship.
Oh, you mean carrying us? Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was carrying us. Sheldon, that's a fact. Sheldon was carrying us.
No, sir. It was a team effort this whole time, bro.
Come on,
it's a team effort this whole time.
I get it.
Have you not been watching?
Sheldon, I don't know what psychosis has happened in Carolina, but like I've been here for 28 years, bro.
But we talking about this one.
I know, but I've been here for 28 years. I am.
With this one.
No. You can't talk about this one. You can't talk about this one unless you were there when we lost to Tom Brady. You can't talk about this one unless you were there when we lost to Arizona and it's a championship chip game. You can't talk about this one unless you saw Chip Kelly trade away LaShawn McCoy for Kiko Alonso. I give my opinion straight up. I'm an objective fan. I don't have blinders on just because I found a team that finally wins. My team has been winning. We have a ring. I was hype about 2018 then. I wasn't expecting us to beat Patrick Mahomes, and that's fine. But let's calm down because you don't have seniority in this fandom at all, bro. Bro.
So Lou, I'm a hedger, right?
Bro. You're a stepchild. You're a stepchild in this family. You're
is the definition of hedging. We're gonna get our ass kicked, but then you're gonna celebrate when they win.
Ain't that
hedging? What is that? I'm a stepson.
He a fan though.
You're exactly right.
I could
relate to what's going to happen. You got to listen.
You asked me. I can relate to Q because I would feel the same way about Dallas. If Dallas was to luck up and win like y'all did, I would feel the same way. Like, damn, I ain't even expect this shit to happen, man. We got a above average quarterback, a coach don't nobody know, and an owner who's trying to sabotage us. Man, I can't believe we pulled this off. I get where Q coming from.
Nick, I took some notes too, Nick, just like you did last week. 95. This 95. Okay.
Only when I'm an objective fan.
95. You can't see.
I'm an objective fan, bro. I'm not gonna pick my team to win. I'm not gonna pick my team to win every single year, bro. If I see evidence go against it, if I see that the Chiefs look unbeatable, I'm gonna say, yo, I think we're gonna lose. If I think that we have the best roster in the NFL and we peak in the last 2 games of the season on all fronts, then, bro, it is what the fuck it is. But I've seen this team do what they should do in 2022 and then lose in the big game. And I've seen us all year in the first half look inconsistent. The bye week comes, we started putting shit together. I'm still having questions about Jalen as a passer, which is why I said whatever you say about the man is true. I'm not going to argue you down on that. But we have to get some order in the family bro, you just got here, and I respect it, and I welcome you into the
family.
That, you should care though, because if you understood, you understand the pain. You can't pop champagne with us, bro. You can't. I never got out. I'm an objective fan. I'm an objective fan. You cannot pop champagne with us if you didn't cry in the rain with us, bro. You can't do that. You can't do that. No, but that's that bullshit, no, bro. That's lap riding. No, our team is great all the time. That's lap riding. I'm not doing that. I don't do that. Welcome to Philly. That's just everybody go.
Real quick, guys. Real quick.
It's crazy.
This is why I hate Eagles. The Eagles, the fans, because only y'all would be fucking arguing like this after y'all won the Super Bowl.
That made FIFA leave.
Only the Philadelphia fans do this, bro. No other fan base would do this.
Well, I would say this.
Eagles,
I'll say this because the Eagles won. I think me and Ken were the ones doing the numbers, Sheldon. I don't know where your 95 came from, but me and Ken was doing the numbers. We was like, brother, there's no way that he beats it. It really felt very similar because I want to talk about the Chiefs. The Eagles won. Saquon got his ring. I'm happy about that. That was I couldn't lose. I'm more shocked about the Chiefs side of things because it looked once again like that Bucs Super Bowl where we going in there thinking Patty can do it all. He can save it all. When the main points that I was bringing up to why I felt like Philadelphia was going to win was like I kept on saying, bro, like we got this nigga throwing a Hollywood Brown, old ass D-Hop. We got Juju. So like and then on the other side they got AJ Brown, Smitty, even Dallas Goedert or whatever the fuck. Like it's like it doesn't even make sense for even try to pick one side. And then once the game started, bro, it was just like wow. My thing goes back. I said this 2 years ago, and I was early, kid, and they called me a hater.
Oh, no, don't do that.
They won a Super Bowl, so I had to shut the fuck up. But I'm trying to tell y'all once again, this front office is taking advantage of Patrick Mahomes because there's
you can only say that now.
Hold on, Lou, let me talk, Lou, because we already had all these other niggas yelling all that shit. I ain't trying to yell. All I'm trying to say is, bro. We look at that roster. We look at all the pieces they let go. And, of course, they won a Super Bowl, so you can't really say they did wrong moves. But we want to see our best with the best. You know what I'm saying? When Giselle was yelling with Brady at that time, and she was like, that nigga can't throw and catch. She was saying, like, I want to see the best with the best. I don't want to – the fact that Patty had this team in the Super Bowl alone and at all the close games on it speaks to his greatness. So I don't change my
but now you can't change that now.
Hold on. I'm just saying, like, my viewpoint of Patty does not change. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to the Chiefs, because again, the Eagles won the Super Bowl, so they did their job. I don't really have much to say about them. Everybody should have known they were going to win based off the roster. Like you said, they got the most talented roster in the NFL. My thing is that it still should have been at least a somewhat close game because they faced them 2 years ago when the roster was just as good, if not better. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, and they won that Super Bowl. So how the fuck are you not able? Like, what happened to Andy Reid off of bye? What happened to the run game? What happened to Spag's defense? Spag defense tried to do some things. At least they kind of shut down Saquon, but still, like, I was more so shocked the fact that like one, Andy Reid once again got outcoached in the Super Bowl. We about to say that about 3 times now. And Patty looked like he was trying to do everything, even though this is his worst game. I'm not going to excuse Patty because he threw pick sixes to a white boy during Black History Month. That's crazy. That should be 12 points. But I'm looking at that roster, bro, and it's like, bro, the offensive line is shitty, and there is no run game. You got Kareem Hunt running like Medea back there.
They had 3 Pro Bowlers on that offensive line.
Cool.
Exactly. Which ones did you see on Sunday?
Didn't look like it.
Which ones did you see on Sunday?
Didn't look like it. They were there.
Real quick, somebody got hurt, so they had to move the left guard to left tackle, and they had to put in a backup left guard. So now I got a backup left guard and a left tackle who's supposed to be playing guard, which is why I can rush 4 people now and get the pressure on Mahomes that they got. Like the difference, like you were saying, Nick, between this Super Bowl 2 years ago and this Super Bowl it wasn't necessarily the receivers. It's that Jalen Carter's a fucking monster. He's one of the best defense, if not the best defensive lineman in football. So if I'm rushing you and you need 2 people to block me because you got a backup in and somebody who playing the wrong position in, and we can get pressure to you with 4 people, I can do whatever the fuck I want to on defense. And that's going to make even Patrick Mahomes look pedestrian. We've seen it happen. That's the biggest difference. We can talk about the Chiefs front office. We can talk about the receivers. We can talk about Andy Reid. We can talk about all of these things. But the main thing was those 4 dudes on the defensive line of the Eagles was whooping ass and taking names. And that was the end all be all of the game. And it's the same thing that happened with the Bucks. We see when the Chiefs have linemen out, when they have people like out of position because they linking this shit together. I do agree with you, Nick. They putting this shit together with tape and fucking band-aids. And when soon as something wrong happens and they can't make up for it, now they in this position because they expect.
That's not. It's so funny though. Let me say something real quick, Sheldon. That's not an excuse because we just saw that in the Bucks game, and they were supposed to do get rebuilt.
How many years ago was that?
That was only a few years ago. We saw this in the Bucks game. How many years does it take you to relearn the same lesson? Fix your offensive line and get this man some more weapons. So like that's
it was fixed.
And I'm not excusing Patty,
right?
Because like you said, the offensive line was shitball. We kind of knew that going into the game, especially going against that D line.
The offensive line wasn't shitball. It was an injury.
Shelton, have we not been talking about how Patty?
When you have to put a left guard at tackle, it's over.
That's not what I'm talking about. Because all season long, Sheldon has Patrick Mahomes not been getting hit more this season than he has in previous seasons.
Yeah, he's ran for his life a lot of times this year.
So that's what I'm saying. The offensive line has been shittier than it was previously since that Super Bowl. And on top of that, we're not excusing Patty because, like you said, even though offensive line crumbled, you can still throw the ball away. You can still throw it in the dirt. Why are you throwing it to number 33? Why are you throwing it over the middle against one of the best linebackers, or he's having one of the best linebacking seasons to try to fit it into Hollywood Brown? Like that's what I'm saying.
You can say the best linebacker in the
league. He's at one of them. He ain't Fred Warner now.
Nick, I will say I do agree with that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
was doing, like that wasn't characteristic of what
because he got to do too much because the team is shit.
Nah, but not even that you got to do too much. You trying to do too much, bro. Throw the check down route. I was most confused at watching this game as to wondering why he was trying to throw the ball down the field, bro. If they playing zone and only rushing 4, all of us play man or have played man before. Throw the ball to the running back, bro. Like just keep doing that until they change the defense. He kept trying to look downfield full of open holes in the pocket, trying to be cute, trying to do more than he could do against this defense, and it came back to bite them in the ass. It didn't help that Andy Reid was on the sideline. Like, I don't know what kind of plays he was calling, but all throughout the game, you kept looking at it, and it was so confusing. It was like, why won't he just throw the check down? And he never did that. The running backs have to be open, bro. If I got 7 back in zone, all you do is throw the flare out and keep doing it or throw the screen. We know that. We play Madden. They never did that, and that's insane.
So whose fault is it, Lou?
Patrick Mahomes. It was the worst. This is the worst game I ever seen him play.
Yeah, this is on Patty.
He's trying to do way too much, bro.
This is on Patty, but I'm saying but there's not a lot of times where we're gonna say this is on Patty. Like if he fucks up
one of the few times,
that's what I'm saying. If he fucks up, then it's like that's a bad day for Patty. It's on him, but that's a bad day for Patty. What I'm talking about is moving forward. Like I'm arguing. Yeah, I'm arguing that moving forward, bro, is we potentially may not see. I'll say,
but in this specific
moving
scenario,
forward, the Chiefs are in trouble. The Chiefs are in trouble.
In this specific scenario, when you agree, it looked weird that he kept trying to make plays and do like. Ken said this in the chat. Like he's trying, like you too amped, bro. You need to calm the fuck down. You need to act like this is week 8 in Oakland. Throw the ball to the running back, get them 3 or 4 yards every play, and y'all are gonna be cool. He kept trying to throw the ball into the teeth of a zone. Everybody knows anything about football. You can't do that. It's not gonna happen. Go ahead, Ken.
I mean, we had a conversation about this, and I said that, or pointed out that if they come in trying to stop Barkley, Jalen Hurts with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and all those guys can't throw the ball enough to beat them. And that's exactly what happened. And along with the defense. The thing about last week when we were making our picks, I wish FIFO was here. But
he jumped off.
FIFO and Spike never gave a real football reason as to how they thought they could see the Chiefs beating the Eagles. It was just they got Jordan, they got Mahomes. And you can see, I mean, I was like listening. I heard Darius Slay on Richard Sherman and the things he was saying, and I was like, "Yo, this team is different." With how after week 4 they finally understood what Vic Fangio was trying to do, and you saw the change. Like hearing him kind of talk to Richard Sherman about that, and some of the guys on there, and et cetera, et cetera. It didn't sound like he was just talking like a lot of hype. So they had the defense. And it was just like, what would the other guys do? If these guys throughout the season they gave up what they were giving up 17, 18 points a game all year long. We've seen the Chiefs barely win games all season long. This was not a good football team. This was a team that managed to win games by refs or whatever you want to call it, throughout the year, these close games. But at some point, it's going to come back to bite you. Patrick Mahomes played awful. And the concerning pass for me was when he tried to hit Travis Kelce on it was either a spacing concept or a curl route, and he threw the ball low. But he was trying to throw the ball low and away from the defense. He did that multiple times in the game. I think the second possession is when I saw him frustrated. He wanted this three-peat badly. I don't know what type of offensive scheme they came up with or whatnot, but Andy Reid got our coach. Patrick Mahomes played like shit, and he just was not reading the defense at all. He looked absolutely lost out there, and it just became a lot of pressure. And yeah, that front four they were eating that offensive line up, and they couldn't do anything. But you got Xavier Worthy out there, and
don't get me started.
Hey man, when I saw DeAndre Hopkins miss that pass and Patrick Mahomes missed that pass, which they could have used those points, I knew it was then. I left at halftime. After the halftime show, it was no need for me to watch anything else because they thoroughly dominated these guys, throughout the game. And it's one of the reasons why I went with them. It's just they just were not a good team. They're a flawed team. Nick, I know we got to have a conversation about where they go next, because maybe this is not the show for that. But when you analyze the last couple of years, I mean, he managed to drag this team there. But one thought I had was they lost to them 2 years ago. Patrick Mahomes found a way to win last year. And what they do, they get it, and they went and got Barkley. This reminded me of almost like when when the Warriors went and got KD, because they lost to Mahomes. And they were like, we need to go get a guy that's going to help us take the top. And they built basically a super team, a super roster, in order to beat him. And it got him a Super Bowl. And, I think that, kudos to the whole team for everything that they did to get to this point. And, Jalen got it done. And that's why he got it done. And
you know who Jalen Hurts remind me of?
Who's that?
Tim Tebow.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Yep. He's a young Russell Wilson. That's what we say.
I saw somebody say that too, Nick.
He's young. It don't sound good in 2025.
And this is 2040. Man, McDuffie, bro. McDuffie looked like a child out there.
Yeah,
I'd rather have a McMuffin than a McDuffie. He got
cooked 2 years ago, and I was thinking he was pretty amped for this game, but it didn't matter.
I think the thing is that the Chiefs have kind of like regressed to the mean, like what Ken is saying. It's just I didn't think it would be that disastrous. It was an utter disaster, and I think that it's one of these games where like every narrative you want to put out there, I'm willing to agree with, depending on the team that you put it on. So it's like if you say that the Eagles were always a super team, I've been consistent the last 3 years saying that we have the best roster in the NFL. And that this is how we should perform. There's no excuse. I don't need Jalen Hurts to throw 350, 400. I've never said that once. I've always said 220 and then rush for 50 yards, rush for 70 yards. I need 200, and then you see how lethal we are. You know what I'm saying? If Saquon has it going, that's the caveat. If Saquon has it going, keep turning around and give it to Saquon Barkley. I understand that. The Chiefs on the other side, if you want to say that they were not as talented and they won just off of situational football, some, questionable calls here and there, I understand that as well. But I don't think anybody, I keep reiterating, I don't think, and if you say you did, you're bullshitting, because 40-6 is fucking crazy.
It's ugly.
And no, it's crazy. Like it wasn't even fun to watch if you're like not a fan of the Eagles. It's like, yo, this is terrible. I don't even want to watch this.
Well, I'll just say before, because people got to go.
How about Howie
Roseman is a genius for this alone. The contracts that he has and the timing, because he got Jalen Hurts he's their most expensive player, making less than $30 million a year next year, I believe. Mm-hmm. And he's paying Saquon. Basically, Saquon's probably the greatest on the greatest NFL or sports contract as far as production to value. Period. Right now, I was gonna say Jalen Brunson.
That's Zach Bond, though, Nick.
You rather have Saquon as a reason why y'all here than Zach Bond.
I'm just saying contract as far as you talking about the money part. That's because he paid.
I'm talking about production versus value of the contract.
Guys that we signed, I feel
you know what I'm saying? Like that. That's what all I'm saying is that because now the Eagles you could probably pencil them in to the title game for the next 2 years.
Oh, we believe so.
Hey,
what up,
it should be that.
Go ahead, Shelton, real quick.
What up?
No, really quick, and I was going to tie into that too about Howie Roseman being that he made some brilliant moves all across the board. I'm talking about the coaching staff he put in place, from Clint Hurt, defensive line. I can't remember the defensive back coach, but he put people in place to get everybody ready for these games. We talk about the stars, we talk about Jalen Carter, but people don't even mention like Jalix Hunt, the 3rd round pick who nobody even know who he was. He balled out in that game. You had all those guys played good from
move on,
Zach Bond, Oren Burks. But it was the next. It was. I know, Lou. I'm sorry.
He about to name the custodian. He gonna name the custodian.
I ain't gonna name
the long snapper. Did a great job of getting the ball.
He did. But it was the next man up mentality, man, and that's what I'm talking about. A lot of teams don't have. We talk about their starters, but you talk about the next man up. You lost your defensive captain and replaced him with Oren Burks, and you didn't drop off a beat. So that's
That's fine.
Lou, he about to mention the bodega owner who gave a chopped cheese
to Gatorade pour.
Jahan
man, if she didn't get this Gatorade,
Jalen
at the right time, man, it would have been crazy.
I'm like, man.
What happened to Jordan, FIFA?
Hey man, it happens. It happens. But nah, look.
What happens?
Yeah, what's the
you being wrong? You being wrong? What happened?
Hey, it's cool. Look. I don't hedge my bets, but I've always said that this is what the Eagles should be. They should be a dominant team on paper. They by far have the best roster. I'm not, because I stood firm on my pick, and I'm gonna pick Mahomes until somebody proves it wrong, and they finally proved it wrong. So now, you know what I'm saying? You might have to take the field versus Mahomes, especially if they don't get that O-line in order. Look, Louis Riddick said something today that I was like, damn, I never thought about it that way, but it made perfect sense. You don't want to have to make 2 moves to solve one problem. They had to move, you know what I'm saying?
Left tackle,
left tackle, and then you had to go promote somebody to left guard, and then boys got exposed out there. You know what I'm saying? They got away with it up into that game, and that defensive front showed them boys, said, hey, you not ready. Y'all not gonna beat us with this patchwork, you know what I'm saying, O-line. And I'm not saying that Mahomes, everything was on the O-line. Mahomes was seeing ghosts, you know what I'm saying? One of that interception when he was in his own end zone, when he got pushed into that, I'm not saying that's not 100% on him, but he got pushed into. He couldn't get the throw off the way he wanted to.
It was going to get regardless.
That defense came to fucking play, and they were dominant. Look, this was a tale of who was dominant on the line, because you look at the Kansas City's D-line. They said, look, Saquon not going to beat us. Jalen Hurts better beat us, and Jalen Hurts beat y'all because, number one, you didn't get a pass rush. You played great run defense, but they couldn't generate a pass rush. So it is what it is, and Mahomes and that offense couldn't overcome what that Philly defense had, and they scored points. They did what they had to do. They wanted Jalen Hurts to throw the ball, and guess what? He threw the damn ball.
You ain't say
they gave him a lot of points.
You ain't say none of that shit on Tuesday.
None of that
shit.
It was
now, Sheldon, don't let him off the hook. This nigga being Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I was about to ask you.
I'm not.
Hey,
go watch the tape.
People, did it change your opinion of Nick Sirianni at all?
Oh, hell no. Come on.
Why would it?
Not really, but only because I know that he's not the X and O play design guy. He's a CEO type of head coach.
You know what he is?
He's a CEO type of coach.
You know what he is? He's what everybody tried to say Dan Campbell was.
100%. That's what he plays. That's the type of head coach he is. So that's why it didn't change for me.
I don't even know why you brought that up, Sheldon.
Why you
because you came off the fence on Dan Campbell. I mentioned it because they talk about
Nick Sirianni's not even good at it. He's not even good at it. He just got the best roster in football. That's the only reason that it works for him. They were talking about firing him in October.
Yeah, so what are you talking about?
This is the same dude that they didn't even trust.
That was the media talking about firing him.
No. This is the same dude. The ownership didn't even trust to hire his own offensive and defensive coordinators. They was like, bro, you just take this position.
You think Jerry don't hire your offensive and defensive coordinator?
We ain't talking about that.
I just think the shot about that Dan Campbell was unnecessary. I don't even know why they even.
Dan Campbell somewhere golfing.
It was definitely necessary. That's FIFO's guy. That's why I brought it up.
Oh,
that's why I brought it up. Yeah.
Dan Campbell somewhere golfing in Maui right now. Like, goddamn, what I do?
Hey. But he is the same.
He's still gonna catch straight. Sirianni's not a good coach. He's not a good coach.
You say he's a bad coach.
Okay.
Is he a bad coach?
No, this is one of
you can't be a bad coach.
He was arguing with AJ Brown in the Super Bowl.
You don't win the Super Bowl and win. Come on, Spike. Stop. Hey, is that a Cowboys hat on? Because that's what it sounds like.
I'll go get my for the organization if you want me to. I get my Cowboys hat if you want me to. And Nick Sirianni is a joke, and it's funny all of the re-narratives that are being written because they won the Super Bowl. Now Jalen Hurts is top 5. Now Nick Sirianni is a good coach. Now Kellen Moore should be head coach of New Orleans. Man, all this is bullshit.
Everything you said is real.
The Eagles have the best roster in football, and I will credit y'all GM for building that roster. Anything beyond that is
one more thing about the game that we need to talk about. Jalen Hurts won the MVP. Any surprises there?
No, because when the QB plays that well, you got to give it to him. But it's like,
do you?
Yeah, when the QB plays well, you got to give it to him. But dude, the way that the defensive front, that was the MVP for me because they created all of our situations. The defense was they were our rock to start the entire game. Probably for first couple drives, they set the tone, the interceptions, the fumbles, but especially in that first quarter, they came to play. Offense was teetering a little bit here and there. They got sparked by the defense, and they just rode that front four to victory. So those would be my for real MVPs. Josh Sweat, especially, like if I could put the guys in order, Josh Sweat number 1 for me. Number 2 probably be Milton Williams, and then after that it's got to be Carter and Davis. That just went crazy. And shout out Brandon Graham coming back from a torn tricep. You know what I'm saying? I remember when Brandon Graham got drafted in 2010. It was a really good night for me because I wanted him from University of Michigan, so it's really cool.
Yeah. So who you keeping, Q? Who you keeping?
If you got Milton Williams, if you're able to, Ajomo is right there, and I feel like you can get him for cheaper because he didn't get a lot of playing time. But I got to keep Bond. I gotta keep Bond. I gotta keep Williams if I can. If I only keep one, I gotta keep Bond.
So no Becton.
I think that Jeff Stoutland is good.